for students. In his book about awe, Dr. Dacher Keltner calls awe the tears, chills, and woes we feel when we experience a sense of vastness that challenges our understanding of the world. It's the goosebumps, the things or ideas or experiences that make us stand still with mouths agape in wonderment. Some other words people may use to describe it are wonder, amazement, or surprise. The benefits that researchers have found with regards to awe are related to the positive experiences of awe. However, the experience of awe can sometimes be negative too. Researchers have found that awe can sometimes feel threatening. For example, when we witness the tragic powers of Mother Nature during a natural disaster. Because of this and people's life experiences, awe is not always pleasant and can be more threatening to some. So it is important to approach awe in the classroom from a trauma-informed and culturally sensitive lens. Do all people experience awe? What triggers awe in each of us is personal and individual. For some, it may be from observing something that is physically large or powerful, like the Grand Canyon or Taj Mahal, or an intense lightning storm, while others are awestruck when presented with a complex idea that challenges your thinking, like quantum physics or the metamorphosis of a butterfly. Awe can also be influenced by multiple things, such as age or life experience, personality, and the cultures we grew up in. For example, some people's personalities are just more prone to experiencing awe compared to others. For example, research points to a relationship between people who are more open to experiences and awe. This is not to say we can't all experience awe, it just may come more naturally to some. Also, arguably, young children come into the world primed for awe, easily fascinated by all new experiences. At the same time, some research with adults finds as we get into our later years of life, we are also more sensitive to awe moments. But all of this may be a product of how much we allow ourselves to slow down and pay attention to the awe all around us. Those of us in the middle of our lives have a tendency to be too busy to notice. Humans of all cultures seem to seek awe, evident by the amazing art and music we create, the ceremonies we partake in, and the reverence we have for many aspects of the life cycle. In its essence, awe inspires all art and science. Our curiosities about the mysteries of the world spur humans to explore and create. At the same time, people from different cultures may experience awe more from one source than another, based on beliefs, traditions, and life experiences. For example, research shows that people from China are more likely to experience awe in response to other people, while people from the US are more likely to experience awe from nature. Similarly, people from various cultures may differ in the types of art they find awe-inspiring, or the kinds of acts of moral courage that spark the most awe for them. For 2 decades, researchers have been fascinated by the fact that awe seems to be a cross-cultural phenomenon, an innately human emotion, yet one that is triggered by so many different experiences. So a group of scientists left the comfort of their labs one day to travel to 26 countries to learn about the kinds of things that make people feel awe. From China to Mexico, Chile to South Africa, Norway to the Himba people in Namibia and beyond. They gathered the most amazing awe stories. People told them about extraordinary kindnesses, unbelievable obstacles, and rare talents. They talked of the miracle of childbirth and the courage to stand up for others, to simply being near the ocean or amidst a forest. One person even shared how he felt awe the first time he saw an ostrich. After spending a year reading and classifying these stories, the scientists made their own awe-inspiring discovery: the 8 wonders of awe. One of these wonders is moral beauty. We often feel awe and wonder when we witness examples of human kindness, charity, courage, or overcoming hardship or obstacles. In fact, this is the most common source of awe, according to research. For example, when people band together to help one another after a natural disaster, or stories like Malala, who went through the unthinkable and now inspires and motivates others. Being presented with new, complex ideas can also spark awe. You may have even witnessed this already when you teach something new, like maybe the miraculous life cycle of a butterfly, or the vastness of our and other solar systems, and see the wow expressions on your students' faces. Amazing feats of visual design can also trigger feelings of awe, like witnessing grand architecture like Sagrada Familia, or visual design found in nature like fractals, geometric patterns like in succulents, or snowflakes. Nature is perhaps what we first think about when it comes to awe. Seeing huge towering trees on a forest walk, or even just the majestic and wondrous floating shapes of clouds in the sky, certainly can give us goosebumps and a sense of being connected to something bigger than ourselves. Collective effervescence. This means that energy and harmony we feel when we move together or witness others moving in unison. Students might get to experience this at a school dance, or when they process onto the stage during graduation, or being part of a human wave at a sports event. We can also witness this in nature, like when birds flock together or when bees swarm. Music is another source of awe we may be familiar with, when you get those chills while listening to an incredible piece of music. Life and death, or considering the wondrous cycle of life, is another source of awe. Contemplating how miraculous the beginning to end of life is can be awe-inspiring, or even the life cycle of an idea, like how an idea emerges in society, takes form, spreads, evolves even, and then sometimes dies away for a variety of reasons, including the emergence of new knowledge. For example, think about the idea the Earth is flat. How did this idea emerge, evolve, and for the most part, lose popularity? And finally, transcendence, spirituality, and meaning in life. These things can both spark awe and be the result of an awe-filled moment. For example, research has found people sometimes discover what they find meaningful in life through awe experiences. Spiritual practices like group prayer or meditations can also lead to awe. You might be considering your own circumstances now, or the students you serve in your schools, and wonder, is awe a luxury only afforded to those that have their basic needs met, and that may not be accessible to some? Although it's true that stress and trauma can get in the way of experiencing awe or experiencing the positive effects of awe, research to date has found that neither where you live nor your income have a particularly strong effect on awe. For example, research has found that beyond a minimum threshold of income, more income did not lead to more awe. In fact, some findings suggest the opposite. People with higher income may be more focused on independence or personal achievement and less focused on finding those moments of awe. So while we are likely to more easily access awe when our basic needs are met and stress is low, all humans have the potential to experience and enjoy awe. Awe is a complex but deeply ingrained human emotion, a unifying force that binds us as fellow human beings, and it is accessible to anyone and everyone, regardless of their social status or cultural background. The classroom offers a natural setting to cultivate a sense of wonder and awe among students, and the benefits are immense. Awe offers opportunities for students to find purpose and meaning in what they're learning, along with fostering a greater sense of connection to their peers and the world around them.